Hey everyone, Ben here. Going to do a short Sunday school lesson today, which I call No Room. Here we sit on December 20th, about 5 days from the big day, from Christmas. And I want to read to you a couple of passages which you have heard, and I just want to sort of dig into them a little bit today, just to talk about what we make room for around Christmas time. So here's the passages. It's in Luke chapter 2, verses 1 to 7. And it came to pass in those days that a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. The census took place while Quirinius was governing in Syria. So all went to be registered, everyone to his own city. And if you know the story of the Bible, I'm sure you have heard this before, this is what made Joseph and Mary have to travel to Bethlehem. So Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth into Judea to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed wife, who he was engaged to. And she was pregnant. So it was that while they were there, the days were completed for her to be delivered. She was going to burst, is what that says. And she brought forth her firstborn son, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in the manger, because, here it is, there was no room for them in the inn. Now, guys, I just want to make this clear. The innkeeper was not a bad guy. There is nowhere in scriptures where we read that the innkeeper was in fact evil or a sinner, or we don't read that he's a Christian or not, or a believer, or, who knows. But he was simply a businessman, and his inn was busy. He was full, which is a good thing. He ran a business that was successful, and the position it put him in was simply that there was no room for additional guests. Now, when we read that story around Christmas time, and we hear about the plight of Mary, she had to give birth in a barn, for goodness sakes. You know what barns smell like. You know what they feel like. Straw is not comfortable. And this is the whole thing about Christmas. When we make nativity scenes, we get the scene. It wasn't great, and that sort of adds to the whole story, the birth of Jesus story. But imagine this guy, this innkeeper, how he could change his image for all history, for the next 2,020 years at least, from a bad guy, no room in the inn, to a good guy. Now, what he could have done is simply turned around after Joseph and Mary came to him and said, is there any room in your inn? And looked at her belly, eminently pregnant, gonna burst, and just said, you know what? Give me a minute. And turned himself right around and went back into the inn, which was packed, full of people. Knocked on a random door. Hi, this is the innkeeper here. Just wanted to talk to you guys about your stay. You enjoying everything so far? Then you've got two sort of Middle Eastern people looking at you like, we've been here for 2 hours. It's going good so far. Yeah, great. We do value your feedback. Please pick up a chisel and a hammer on the way out and punch out a certain number of stars. But in saying that, I'm going to kick you out. So have a great day. Bye-bye. And they would be very confused, as in, we paid good money for this. And he's like, yeah, but the thing is, now there's a lady who's going to give birth, and I don't want her to give birth in a barn, so I'm kicking you out, Methuselah, and your bride there, to the barn. And I'm going to let this lady, who I don't know, but she's obviously pregnant, deliver a child in a nice room and bed. So you guys are going to swap seats. Now, that would be really weird, and really difficult, and really hard for the innkeeper, I get it. But what he would have been known for then is the guy that made room in the inn. The innkeeper would be a good guy. He made room in the inn for Jesus Christ. What a nice way to be known as the guy who made room for the Savior. And then moving forward, who knows how it would impact Christmas as we know it. Do we have the courage to be like the innkeeper, to make room for Jesus? And guys, I don't know how Christmas works in your house, but I know that for me, I know this sounds bad as a pastor, but you have to make room for Jesus. I know I have to work at it each year to push back against Hollywood's version of what we're celebrating. Santa Claus, Coca-Cola, memorable movies, sales on diamond rings, and all these other things that we are told that the Christmas season is about. Those things aren't bad. I'm just saying, make room for Jesus. Just like that innkeeper could have, I want you guys to look at your lives, look around and think, man, what is the main thing that I'm doing, I'm looking forward to? Is it a gift? Okay, that's sort of right. Is it material or tangible? Is it something that was bought in a store? Or is it celebrating Jesus? Have you made room? You push something aside or down, deprioritize it to make room for Jesus. And that's my advice to you this year is look at your life. Think about things you've gotten in the past, material things that were once really great gifts. And now they're outdated. They're rusty. You threw them away. You gave them away. Those gifts fade with time, you guys. We all know this. Jesus will never fade with time. So remember, when you think about good gifts, think about Jesus. So 3 tips for you this Christmas season. Number 1, read the story. Just take time to make room for Jesus in that way. Read the story of Christmas from the Bible. Ask your parents, do it together, do it by yourself or online. There's plenty of devotionals out there. Learn about the birth of Jesus Christ and remember that this is his birthday. Number 2, pray. Pray for the lost. Pray for people who have no idea that Christmas is about anything more than just stuff from Target or Amazon, because it can be quite a hopeless feeling when you get the stuff you thought you wanted, but you're sad. And you don't have that bigger meaning feeling. You don't get the real purpose because they haven't made room for Jesus. So pray for someone who is lost this year. One of your friends maybe that doesn't know Jesus. That would be a great idea. And the last thing, and this is probably the most important, you guys, kick something out. What is it that's in your heart that is too near to your heart, that is not allowing you to focus on Jesus? Is it the new PlayStation? Is it a snowboarding trip? Is it your vacation tickets? Or is it a fashionable new COVID mask? Or something along those lines. If there's anything that is in your heart that is pushing Jesus out, don't be like the innkeeper. Don't just settle for it and just say, oh, well, no room. Guys, push it out. Push it right out and put Jesus in the middle. Do whatever you can. Buy a birthday cake, blow out the candles, and sing him happy birthday. That's what we do. I know it sounds weird, but you guys, it really does help put Jesus back in the middle of our Christmas day. Whatever it is that you decide to do to make room for Jesus this year, I pray that you would do it with your heart, with your mind, and with your soul all in the same place, remembering that Christmas is about a gift, but that gift is a person, and that should cause us to celebrate, to sing, dance, drink, and be merry. So I hope that you guys get to do all of those things this year at Christmas. God bless you. Have a Merry Christmas. He is the reason for this season. See you guys.